Guys, so this will be the second mission. The runtime for this is about the same as the last, about 1 hour, but this one is set up very, very different. It is kind of a rat race. By this I mean that you have to do things in a very orderly manner, and if you don't do them in time, the rat race gets worse. I mean, it's kind of like you're running a rat race and you don't make a time, they add on an extra lap. Well, that's this one. So what's going to happen here is you'll have to fulfill market demands that
One
Rufus
does want to
Thorn
be prepared for all eventualities.
will announce. Mr. Thorn. And so, you know, I did cheat this. I will say that.
The
When I
company
did my
cannot accept
first
failure.
playthrough of this, I kind of just looked ahead and saw what the demand was. So I'm settling this island here instead of the one where you start next to, because this one has rivers, which means you'll be able to produce concrete quite easily. Just a little heads up. And I'm looking up, you know, I haven't done this before. This is a new experience, so I didn't really understand where I should put this to. So,
Additional buildings now
the first
available.
demand will be coal, and so you have to get
Energy
8
supply
market demands
inadequate.
These
fulfilled.
instructions come directly from the board.
And there's coal. So you gotta get 8 market demands done, and you have to do them pretty fast. You can miss out on 2 without losing the mission. But the second you miss out on the third one, well, then you're doomed. Yeah, so my little strategy here is to not miss a single one.
Eco balance. Values
And so
sinking.
I'm sure the title will reflect that I have not in fact missed one. I will say I will apologize if there are any little glitches in the game feed if it's not all that nice looking. Basically when I did this, I was already kind of low on hard drive space, and I recorded everything to an extra
You're fine.
1TB hard drive space, so I was kind of forced to
Glad to
load this onto my main 1TB hard drive space, which never works out that well. And so yeah, I've had to stop the game, I had to save it, I had to load it, just to kind of fix these problems. And yeah, I'm sorry if there's any like little like blips where, you know, I kind of just jump forward a bit or whatever, but that's it. As you can see, I make a pretty bad construction mistake. I build my communities at a weird little slope, and because I do that, and I'm a little bit OCD, I'm kind of forced to continue that mistake across the whole path. Cost me a total of an extra 50 credits. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. So the first one's very easy, it's just coal, and you just make a whole bunch of
All systems. Your order has been
whole bunch of coal.
confirmed. The goods have been
Not
sent.
too bad. In my first playthrough I actually found a way to get pretty damn far without having to sneak ahead. Basically, when you have a shit ton of coal, you know, what can you use coal? Well, coal is needed to make iron. So that means you can have a lot of iron production, which means you can have a lot of steel production, a lot of tool production, and, you know, doing it the way I did worked out very favorably for
Hey.
me. So just doing the standard, like, you know,
Hey, a person
purchasing a
can
lot of
count on
tools and
you.
building supplies. I won't be taking a lot from these guys
Ordered goods
as much as
are
usual
ready for
because
collection.
I really do get a lot of tool production, a lot of steel production, a lot of whatnot. So I don't really need so much from them. And you might notice there's no SAT on the map, there's no neutral factions, there's no aggressive factions, there's no pirates, just the 2 people. So this is a 100% a trading map. Where, yeah.
I vouched for you to get you this opportunity.
Okay, so the warning ends,
Negative
and then
environmental
the
influences
main objective
reduce
begins,
fertility.
and, you know, it's not always going to be so short-term like this. You will get longer strides to do things. I think the final one is like, you get 30 minutes, which isn't too bad. And so the way to beat this is to kind of stay ahead of demand, and really know what the demand will be. So in the opening I get pretty lucky, and I'm actually gonna put down iron, a lot of iron, so I make a lot of tools, and turns out the second demand is iron. Pretty cool, right? So yeah, I think I'll probably fast forward a little bit, just so we can get this going. So I should probably mention building up your community and stuff. You don't want to build up too much, but you do need to keep pace with the game. And by this I mean that you have to be able to unlock the ability to do stuff, to build stuff, because the whole thing is about building stuff. So as you can see, I'm loading up a lot of iron, and that's just because it's the name of the game, right? Iron will win. You will need to have at least one lime mine, just to get concrete production going. And I'll actually opt to have one of my lime mines on another island, just so I have really good concrete production. If you have really good building supplies and tool and whatnot, like all the stuff that you build buildings with, you have a lot of production of that. You're going to do very, very well. You're going to be able to build a lot of stuff very quickly. So just keep that in mind when you're doing the challenge, that the key to it really is having a lot of ability to make infrastructure on the spot. So we're going to get down my lime mine. And yeah, now I'm going to make concrete, which you'll need a shit ton of. Concrete, you'll need it to evolve people to the next level. You'll need it to build pretty much every single building in the game that you'll want. And yeah, I'm not building any tools yet. I mean, I might build like...
Everything okay?
You know...
Fair deal.
Production facilities for them and just stop them. But you shouldn't build any tools yet, because you really want to trade in iron. And you want to be able to do it pretty fast. And the faster you trade it in, the faster you can just continue forward and push ahead. There is no real built-in timer, and I have tested this. It's the exact same, like, it's the exact same amount of gain time between one objective beginning and another objective beginning, with, like, you know, turning it in and all that stuff. So that's kind of adjusting the note. So I'm going to drop down these guys just because I don't want to run out of tools. Because, like, your civilization will, you know, evolve up, and they need tools to evolve up, so they're going to consume all of your tools. So, any sec now, should get the assignment from Rufus Thorn.
I'm giving you the opportunity to...
And, yeah, this is just a warning, so this kind of tells you how far ahead I am right now. And I should
One does want
have
to be
more than
prepared
enough
for
iron
all
to really deal with him.
don't you think?
So,
Global Trust Inc.
now that I pretty much have the needs met for the iron, I will need to fulfill the next demand, which will be concrete. And to fulfill concrete, you should probably pretty much just not use any for now. And also consider getting a second lime mine if you can. You can use a little bit, and I think I'll use a little bit to make hamburgers, but there's a lot of waiting involved here. So I'm going to basically fast forward until the concrete is done, I guess. So I guess it's probably worth noting this lime mine here, and yeah, I got an extra limestone mine just so I can produce a lot more concrete.
Game saved.
And you don't need this to really you know, complete the concrete objective, but this is about staying ahead of the game. And to stay ahead of the game, you need a lot of infrastructure building resources. So you have to really keep that in mind. Like, by building this extra concrete, I'm going to be able to throw up a little bit of convenience food, and you only need to put up a little bit. You'll build up on its own, and you'll get a shit ton, and then like when you're done concrete, you'll be able to basically, you know, expand this construction area later. But for now, just having the one is a good idea. Initially, when I played this the first time through, I didn't really know where the domains would be going, because there just didn't seem to be a pattern. You'll see I'm storing goods in the arc here, and this just because later on in the game, like, I don't want anything to stop producing, and like I said, the game is very infrastructure heavy, so I'll always want a lot of resources, and even if I don't use these, I want them there. And you're gonna have a decent amount of time between iron and concrete, so, you know, do a little bit of building. I mean, I'm building like just a very small bits of stuff. I'm building like, you know, a couple of meat, some super spice,
fertility.
and, you know, this hamburger factory, just so I can get that production going. Because like I said, it's
Additional
quick keep
buildings
pace.
now available.
I should note, after concrete is steel. So in order to do that, you need to really push your civilization into tier 3, in which you'll need convenience foods, and you will need plastics. So that's one thing to consider. So you'll definitely want to, like, you know, while you're in this kind of like little in-between phase, you'll want to do slight amounts of infrastructure development. Keep in mind though that you're going to need to have some slabs of concrete.
Registering energy shortage.
Oh no, energy shortage. And don't be afraid of building coal on these farm islands. I know it puts down your environmental rating and stuff, but you're going to need a shit ton of coal to finish this anyway. So you might as well have coal production here anyway. Just makes sense.
Registering eco-balance degradation.
Yeah, and just storing more stuff in my arc.
The company expects you to take care.
And there's concrete. And, like, you know, I've used quite a bit of concrete, but you will have plenty of time. And yeah, I do scrounge up that little one concrete over there. Why not? It should be decently close. I will say that much about this experience. You know, but you should be able to get it. As long as you have 2 concrete factories, you have 2 sources of limestone. You should be fine. And, you know, lots of time
Have you
left
completed
over.
the quest? You're really beginning.
Completed. Now this is going to be, you know, really take the pressure off. Now you're going to be, you know, you have to really quickly try and expand. So, you know, eventually you'll want a trade route between the 2 places. For now, just do it all manually. Convenience food first, and then after that expand into plastics, and that will get you to tier 3. You'll of course need the information center, which will give you extra money anyway, so that's not a worries. A lot of people ask about like the breakdown of convenience food, just because it's so really awkward. I don't really know it myself, but as a guideline, know that super spice will produce a lot of spice. The super spice farms will produce a lot of super spice. Meat farms don't produce a lot of meat, so you'll probably need about 3 meat farms to every 1 super spice. And then, you know, in that ratio, a single convenience food factory should cover. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but it's pretty damn close. I don't have my ratios perfect just yet, and a lot of that's because, well, I'm just kind of screwing around. So I'm putting down 2 coal mines here. That's because I know in advance that coal will be of high demand. You need a lot of power to power that main island eventually, and you will definitely need coal. So I'm just going to set up a trade route real quick. Always have somebody at the end that you can sell surpluses off to. So we're going to trade coal, convenience foods, and we're going to send them home. Oh, and limestone. All very important resources that you will definitely want to keep. And any surpluses will go over to Mr. Rufus Thorn. And so that kind of ends the role of your main guy of just, you know, running around doing all these trades manually. Well, not yet. I still haven't laid down a navy or shipyard, and I still haven't built the ship. I was just, since I had open time, I was building the trade route in advance. So we can drop these hamburgers off of the main base. I don't have too big a worry of using them. There's no real restrictions on this map, like in the event or in the first mission.
Energy supply inadequate.
And really, the hamburgers are just extra monies. So you're gonna be pretty much constantly expanding, using only coal power. A lot of people say nuclear power, but unfortunately you need that nuclear stuff for something else. So this is probably going to round out first part. This is part 1 of 3 of the mission. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for part 2. 2 is after 1. Thanks for watching.